Hey guys, what's up? It's Philbo here, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the auction house and how you can get rubies and some simple strategies you can put in place to make sure you're never without them. Um, Before I get started and jump right in, let's talk a little bit about why you might want rubies. Now, the obvious thing is, yeah, you want rubies so that you can get things on the auction house. Like, for example, um, if we're looking at my character, I was looking for a specific ring that had lightning damage on it. It would be really difficult for me to just find this puppy out in the wild. So I had somebody else find it for me, domesticate it, and throw it on the auction house, and I bought it. It may have taken me, I may have never found something like this. So obviously, we want rubies so that we can get items off the auction house, but there's a few other reasons that you might want them. If we look at the paid shop here, you're going to see that there are some things that we can actually purchase with rubies. And a couple of the things that I've purchased that have made my life easier is I've gotten these charm rare upgrade essences. These allow you to take your magic charms and upgrade them to the rare level. And I've gotten some stupid good uh, charms this way, rare charms. It may have taken me a lot longer to get some good charms if I wasn't able to use this upgrade essence. So that's something you can get with rubies. And also, some other things here. Stardust of Oblivion, 120 rubies here. This lets you respec as many times as you want in the zodiac tree, so you can reset your traits as much as you want for 6 hours without having to pay any gold. So this is extremely useful. And then obviously we have things like the pet, the 7-day pet. These are some reasons why you want to have rubies on hand. Um, so quick thing that I have to note, full disclaimer here, I have never once purchased rubies. I've never transferred rubies for the currency in the game. I've never done it. All the rubies that I've acquired in the game so far has come 100% from items that I've listed on the auction house. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into the auction house and look at some ways that you can make rubies. And these are just, and the way I'm going to go through this, I'm just going to go through some things that I've done, that I've seen some success with, and just things I've noticed on the auction house. I'm not covering everything you can possibly do. These are just some things that you can implement into your auction house strategy. So let's get going. Let's look at the auction house here. And the first thing that I want to talk about is that, or the best thing that you can probably do here for yourself is to just become aware of what's in the auction house. So I can talk about some things that you could do, but really for you to work the auction house really well, it would pay to come in here and just kind of look around, find out what is in the auction house, go through all these tabs here. So what is essence? Okay, people are selling essences. Great. Okay, what are these other options over here? Okay, I can sort by buyout price. So I can see, okay, people are selling these legendary upgrade essences for a lot of rubies. That's something to be aware of. Candors. Look at these candor essences here. They're going for quite a bit of rubies. So you might find one of these out while you're farming, and you may say, let me go candor my skill rune. But it might be better right now to just sell it. You might be able to use the rubies more. So definitely want to come in and just take some time and learn what's in all of these tabs and find out what's selling, what's not selling, and what are people listing things for. So definitely want to do that. But some actual things that are practical that you can implement, these are things that I'm doing right now. just to give you some a starting point and some ideas where you can start making rubies immediately. So let's go ahead and talk about uh, weapons. So one thing that you can actually implement and start selling are weapons, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a good weapon. People are buying base weapons that have good minimum and maximum rolls. So what I'm talking about here is, weapons that a lot of builds are using, or a lot of people are using in their builds. An example of that might be the Earthquake Scepter. So if I go and click on Scepter here and I hit the search button, what you can do is you can actually order by item level. And right now, this might change, this is probably going to change in the future, but right now, a lot of people are looking for Earthquake Scepters that are over level 90, so they can get the best tier rolls. And then also a good minimum maximum. So this one right here, I'm looking at it. It doesn't have a good min max, so I don't foresee that one selling. But let's see here. This one looks like it might be good. So here's a good Earthquake Scepter right here that has a good minimum and maximum, a good min and max roll. And it is at least level 90. And this right here, this person has this listed for 500. Now, I don't know if they're going to get 500 for it, but I've listed quite a few Earthquake Scepters and I've gotten 200 rubies for them. I've gotten 250 at certain times. I've gotten 150. So these do sell for a decent amount. If you don't have anything that will go for more rubies and you've got some of these on hand, they're a good thing to just throw up if you don't have anything else to put on the auction house. So that's that. Biggest thing to keep in mind is just pay attention to weapons that are popular in builds right now or at the current time that you're playing, and always be looking for like good min max rolls on popular weapons. So that's one easy thing that everybody can do. Another thing with weapons or gear in general is that if you make a really good enchant, you can sell those for big amounts. Somebody might not want to enchant their own weapon. They might not want to be bothered with that. So you could potentially put something up that could go for a good bit. Like, I'm not going to look at all the stats here, but people have been putting up Earthquake Scepters that have good rolls for, builds like Toxic Flame for a few thousand rubies. I've seen some go as high as 10,000 rubies. If I were to go in and look at two-handed swords, you can see there's a lot of Crowd Slaughter or Great Swords up for a lot of rubies. These are rolls that people are, my guess is they have crit rate on them. Yeah, so that one has an 8. But here, somebody's selling this. It's got a lot of great things on it. This is a really great weapon right here. It's got good quality. It's got pretty much all the rolls are adding a lot of damage, and then it's got a 10 on the crit rate. So this is up for 4,500. It's not selling, but somebody may look at this weapon, and if it drops down a little bit, I could see this going for 3,000 easily. So if you enchant and you're good at enchanting and getting good quality weapons, you can make a lot of money on the auction house. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. Another thing that you can do is you can sell like commodities. There are plenty of commodities that you can put up on the auction house. So one thing that you can put up, crafted statues. Right now, the going rate for crafted statues is around 25. So if you have, like a stack of these, you can throw the entire stack up. If you've got 20 of these, you can throw 20. It doesn't matter. However many you have, you can throw up and make a lot of rubies. These are always selling. Anytime I put these up, they sell. So that's something you can put up. There's also rune growth material. People are putting up chaos elements. The going rate I notice is anywhere from 15 to 20 on these right now. So again, things that always sell, these commodities. All right. Another thing that I have seen sell pretty consistently is under utility consumables. So under the utility consumables tab, we have all these boxed up bundles, or all these bundles of essences. So uh, let's just sort here by the buyout price minimum and scroll over. And people are selling upgrade essences, disintegration essences, birth essences, you name it. If you can bundle it, you can sell it. So I've not, like, to be honest, I have not used birth essences in like a couple weeks because I just bundle them. I bundle these things and they always sell. So that's something that you might consider doing if you don't know how else, if you're not having much success making rubies elsewhere. These are things that these commodity sells here, they almost always go. So that's something you can do. Now, do keep in mind that to make these bundles, you have to use philosopher stones. So I think to make a birth essence bundle here of 50 rare birth essences, for example, you do have to use 2 philosopher stones. So how do you get the philosopher stones? They're a daily buy that you get from the vendor. You can get 5 a day. And then whenever you do your chaos missions, those are some of the rewards you can get. I think you can get up to 4 extra philosopher stones for doing the chaos missions every single day. So keep that in mind when you're doing those. I always get the philosopher stones for the chaos mission rewards because I want more rubies. They're guaranteed rubies. So those are some things you can do. Chaos cards, I would say that you could run these if you want. However, they sell for a lot. So if you drop a unique chaos card or a legendary chaos card, obviously pay attention to what the mission reward is, because it could be something really, really nice. But it might be something that's not so hot. And I have noticed that the unique cards and the chaos cards do tend to sell quite well. So that's something that you could do. And then also pay attention to essences. We looked at this a little bit earlier here, but let's just look at the buyout price. Any of these items here, you can treat them just like commodities. They sell. People want these. If they're crafting on that GG item and they've got their prefixes all sorted out, and they need suffix option removal essences to get that piece to where it's wearable, they might come in and drop almost 2,000 rubies to get this stack of suffix option removal essences to get that item. These are things that you can be putting up. You don't necessarily have to use them in enchanting. You can get the rubies this way. So these are all different things that I have done to make rubies. I think they're almost guaranteed ways to get rubies, and there's lots of other things that you can do on the auction house to seek success. These are just some things that I've done. Anyways, guys, these are just a couple of ideas that you can use to get started making rubies on the auction house. There are a few considerations that I would have when I'm putting things on the auction house. I think, again, I'll state what I said earlier. Just take time to understand, right? Take time to understand the auction house. You'll be able to work it a lot better. Something else I would say is that if you are putting things up on the auction house, don't overprice things, because we do only get 3 slots. I think there's a way that you can boost this by with real money. I think you can get some extra slots. I haven't used that. I've only been going with the 3 slots. You only have 3 slots. Don't keep those slots filled up by trying to overprice things. It's better to keep your it's better to keep things moving and have things consistently sell, so that you always have rubies coming in, than to try and sit on a few pieces and oversell them. Anytime I've tried to oversell items, uh and they don't hit, and some people aren't buying those pieces, I'm missing out on rubies that I could be making from other sells. One other thing to consider is that when you are going to sell, you've got this registration period right here. Choose the one that makes the most sense. But the biggest thing to keep in mind is that your item's not going to show for the first 3 hours that it's registered. So be careful when you're choosing the 6-hour registration period, because it's actually only going to show for 3 hours. So keep that in mind. If you're going to do this one, it makes the most sense to do this during peak hours. Anyways, guys, that's about it. If there's anything that y'all have been doing where you've seen success, I would love to hear about it in the comment section. But if the video has helped you out in any way, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button and if you drop the subscribe. But until next time, you guys take care.